Scheana's always kind of chosen men where it's like she's going to be the one who kind of wears the pants in the relationship.
Definitely with Shay.
I hope she's not mad at me for saying this.
Coming up on the Vanderpump Rules after show.
Well, why don't you talk to Brittany? Why don't you talk to her?
Because I don't like you.
She just abandoned her after the fact that we didn't go to Stassi and Beau's wedding. That bothers me.
The reason they were so pissed is because you canceled last second.
You've been the other woman in a relationship.
You, hell no! You are not gonna try and deflect here for 1 second. You are not gonna try and compare me to you.
Last 3 years, you haven't checked in on me and my wife. You wrote me off.
I had Cruz, didn't hear a word from her. She never checked on me throughout my entire pregnancy.
Brock and I have just been like at each other's throats lately.
Whenever they fight, it's always about her mom.
The moms are overbearing as but Brock also needs to be grateful.
This is not a midlife crisis. This is a midlife revival.
Brock, some people might say those shoes are a midlife crisis.
The Vanderpump Rules after show starts right now.
So I'm sure Jax told you he got in a fight with Katie.
He did tell me, and I was upset because I was like, why? Why are you doing this? Why are you? Because I don't like confrontation and stuff. So like,
you would have hated this then.
yeah.
What are you on about? Because I took a picture with a female?
Like the internet talks about you.
The internet talks about you too.
Like I get that he might be taking up for me or whatever, but like I didn't ask him to do that.
You better believe I went off on her. Well, why don't you talk to Brittany? Why don't you talk to her?
Because I don't like you.
My wife's out there always trying to rack her brain. Why is Katie mad at me? For her not to respond to her texts or messages, it hurt her. Like she was a big part of her life. And the fact that she just abandoned her after the fact that we didn't go to Stassi and Beau's wedding, that you just wrote her off, that bothers me. You have no part of that situation. So you're mad just to be mad, or just because you're up Stassi's ass? One of the two. That's the only two reasons I can think of.
Dude, it's that's like a fucking expensive trip, man. You guys you guys had just gotten off the show.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. We just
that's
got off a show.
ridiculous.
I don't know where
you got a
money's coming
child.
in. Just had a child.
The reason they were so pissed is because you canceled last second.
We were all planning to go to Italy. We were making plans and arrangements and all of that. And I remember Stassi and I were talking to Brittany for the longest time about all that. And she was very like sort of like avoiding the questions and didn't really want to like get involved in like the planning of it all. But she would still. She would get excited and talk about it. But then right up until like the days before, she became like very like avoidant of it all. So then the morning that we're all supposed to go to Italy, Brittany sends a message saying, oh my God, we're not gonna be able to make it. We didn't get the passport in time, like yada, yada, yada. Let's just excuse.
I wasn't trying to cancel. Like even I wasn't gonna go because my son didn't have a passport. We thought we were gonna get the expedited passport from Cruz. It didn't come in time. So I said, you know what? Somebody from our family needs to be at this wedding. So Brittany, why don't you call your mom? You guys go, I'll stay back. And then when Brittany's mom's best friend's husband died, it was just like, you know, it's not in the cards for us to go.
There was like group chats where Jax was like very openly talking about how like they're not going to that wedding. They got a golf tournament that they're doing instead. It was just like very kind of rude the way he was just speaking so freely to other people, not thinking like that it would get back to either of them.
Did I handle it wrong? Absolutely. I handled it completely wrong. And I apologize. I made a mistake. Is it a reason to squash and to ruin a whole friendship over? I don't think so. You know, I don't know what else I can do. I beg, I plead.
I just feel like there was just so many lies. And I don't like lies. I f***ing hate lies, man. Like nothing more than that. So I'm just like, you know, I need a break. I need a little break ski. And also like Jax has just been such a f***ing asshole. Like to me for like no reason. Like I think one time Tom accidentally posted like the name of their kid and like he didn't talk to him for like months and then he decided not to talk to me. I got roped into it somehow while I was throwing Brittany's baby shower. Like I had literally nothing to do with it. He just is such a fucking asshole. I was just ready for like a break and so it didn't mean for it to be permanent. Brittany texted me once, asked me how the move was going. I didn't get around to texting her back. But that was the last I heard from her. I never heard from her. She never asked me how's divorce? Like never checked in on me, never once asked me anything. So I was like, you know, I'm good on you.
She says Brittany hasn't reached out, and I'm like, she did reach out while you were moving and asked if you need help. And she'll say like, need help with what? And I'm like, well then you can't say she didn't reach out because she did. Like you don't get to decide how and when and what people say when they reach out. Mm-hmm. So it's sometimes hard to gauge with Katie because you're like, how do I approach this? Should I reach out? And if I reach out, like, is the timing okay?
Yeah.
Is what I said okay?
And I
it
just
becomes
started
very intimidating.
Yeah, and very intimidating. And I feel like she was the matron of honor in my wedding. Like, I love her so much. I still have a lot of love for her. But it's just like crazy how we just like don't even talk anymore.
I remember at the time she was like really sad about the whole thing. I forget, we were at like Dave & Buster's for something. Was it Janet's birthday? Like Janet's like the Dave & Buster's queen. But like, I remember we were all together and she was really upset. I just remember her being really sad about it. But then I feel like, did you guys ever talk after this situation where he like yelled?
No.
Oh.
No, and I know they did like a watch thing for the show. She goes, oh my God, I didn't know Katie was going through all this.
I don't have any like hate or anything for her. It's just, it's so weird seeing all this because I didn't know how she was feeling through all this. So it really kind of makes me sad.
Could have picked up the phone then. She could have picked up the phone at any point. But then there's, you know, a sweaty dude in my face just screaming at me like I'm the worst person on the planet. And I'm good on both of them.
Wild.
Like they can have their time.
Jax, you went to SUR and had a conversation with Lisa,
and
she was upset that you had said that she was superfluous.
By the way,
Superfluous.
first of all, you guys know me pretty well. Even you guys behind the scenes know me very well. Do you think that word is even remotely near my vocabulary?
Here you are on a podcast saying, Lisa's a prop, she's not needed, she's superfluous. That's what you said, superfluous.
I don't even know what that word means.
Oh, come on, Jax, grow up.
I can't even pronounce the word, first of all. That word is nowhere near this brain.
Superfluous, it's the name of Jax's band, Superfluous.
Yeah, I was a little upset because I think, you know, I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but I was in this from the beginning, and I think I helped create a masterpiece. That's what I call the show. I really think it is.
This is why my show is successful. This is
Actually not your show, it's actually my show.
She was a huge figure in my life. I mean, I spent over a decade of my life with you. I've had heart-to-hearts with you. I've been over your house crying. You've been crying to me, okay? When you had issues on Housewives, you would come to me and say, you're the only one I could talk to. Like, we had some moments. I just felt like I didn't mean anything to her. I felt like I was just like that.
Last 3 years, you haven't checked in on me and my wife. You wrote me off.
It didn't bother me so much as like after the show. It's like after I had my son. I'm bringing a child into this world, which a lot of people never thought that was gonna happen. Not even a phone call, not a congratulations, nothing. I don't even care if you don't want to meet, not even to my wife, who's been so nice to you. I don't understand, so it bothered me.
I've always looked up to her. But while we were on the show, she always acted like she was a mother figure to us, and especially to Jax. I mean, they were extremely close. And then we're off the show, and it just kind of felt like she didn't care about us anymore. Like, never reached out to us, never talked to us, never seeing if we were okay. I had Cruz, didn't hear a word from her. She never checked on me throughout my entire pregnancy. And I had a very tough pregnancy. I was sick 24/7, but never heard a word from her. And then I had the baby. 8 weeks later, we did get a gift from her, but we never heard anything before that.
All I needed was a congratulations. I don't need gifts or anything. And as soon as I called that out, literally within hours, a package showed up my door. A gift for Cruz and all that, and said, oh, I was sending it. I just thought it was a little, it hurt my feelings. And I wasn't trying to belittle Lisa.
Jax Taylor's been so disrespectful to me publicly.
What's the point of Lisa on the show anymore?
Just to be there, sit next to Andy. I think she's a prop at this point.
Like, I just almost kind of like, I was shaking my head, like, how dare you? How dare you? I've given my soul, my heart to the show. It bothered me. And then, you know, God forbid, we don't text her right away when Ken fell off the horse or something like that. We just got, something happened where Ken got hurt.
I did reach out to her whenever she got in her horse accident. And
did she respond?
Yeah, she was like, thank you so much. I miss you, but I miss you guys. Like, she'll say stuff like that. And, like, Cruz doesn't get invited to, like, Pandora's birthday parties and stuff.
Really?
It's just very odd to me.
Have you talked to her since that day?
No. Not because I don't want to, not because of anything like going on, but now I'm open to it now because we squashed it. She's busy, we're busy. I don't go to the Hollywood that much either, so I don't make myself, you know, available for her to see me or anything like that. So.
Are you gonna ask for your job back at SUR?
What? But no. But I mean, hopefully we squashed it. I think we did. I think we had a little bit of a heart-to-heart.
Yeah.
You know, she said what she needed to say. I said what I needed to say, and I think, you know, we moved past it like adults.
You and Scheana discuss being the breadwinners in a relationship.
So me and Jax have gone through this, actually, whenever we were not on Vanderpump Rules anymore and the roles kind of flipped. I was definitely making more money, and I could tell that Jax, it just like hurt Jax's ego. And being an alpha male like Brock is and Jax is, I think that could be hard because they feel like the man is supposed to be there. But I definitely see how that affects their egos.
But the hardest part is knowing that I'm not bringing home the money anymore. And I think it adds so much tension to Scheana and I because, like, she's providing for the whole family. She's the main breadwinner.
I feel like Sheena's always kind of chosen men where it's like, I'm the alpha.
Definitely with Shay.
Yeah, and other men that she's like dated, it's like she's going to be the one who kind of wears the pants in the relationship, and you're gonna be the one that's kind of running around and catering to Shisha's needs. I hope she's not mad at me for saying this. But I think if Brock had somewhere to be every day, a job, especially his own business where it's like very demanding and all hours, I think that would kind of throw Scheana off her rocker a bit.
Well, then they'd really realize how like valuable Erica is.
When I met Brock, he had a flexible schedule. He worked full time. He was at the gym every day, but he kind of made his own hours. That's kind of the lifestyle we've built together, is being very flexible and being there for each other. If all of a sudden he had like a 40 to 60 hour work week and was traveling for work all of the time, like, no, I actually don't want that. I love that we're able to work together so much.
She depends on Brock for a lot, which is beautiful. I think that's how a relationship is supposed to work.
You do things for each other.
Yeah, shift dependency. But I think that would knock her for a loop. Being like, wait, you can't bring the drums for the 27s for me to play Good as Gold tonight?
It's not like Brock's just like sitting home baking cookies or something. Like, he's out here grinding, he's hustling, he's trying.
Hustling,
he's always talking about business when you're with him.
People seem to think he is this terrible person who's like just living off me. I'm like, first of all, he is the hardest worker out of any person I've ever been with in my life. Like, he does so much. He is so ambitious. He is so driven.
It's tough, but it's also very, very fortunate to be able to have an opportunity to try and figure it out.
Where do you see yourself going? Like, what industry do you think you're gonna land in?
TV, production, movies, it's Hollywood, right? And it's what we're in the room where we're meeting these people. So I think it would be I'll be a fool not to try and capitalize on this opportunity and figure out how it works. It's very interesting, and to meet the team and to see everything that goes on with all of it. It was completely out of when I grew up on a dairy farm hanging out with my pig farmer's girlfriend.
My first love was the farmer's daughter that lived next door. A pig farmer.
He has 2 shows that he's developing right now, and it's like, this is going to be it. He is always thinking steps ahead. What's next? How can I bring in an income for this family? But at the same time, the fact that he's able to be with Summer as much as he is, and he's so good with her and works on letters and numbers and sounds and all of these things. It's not like he's just sitting at home watching Disney. Support comes in more ways than just financial. It doesn't matter who's making the money. We're a team at the end of the day. And there may be a day when it completely changes, and the roles reverse. And sure, the checks may come paid to my business, LLC, but he's a part of that, and it's our life together. I just got a prenup this time around, just because, and just in case.